This is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. All right, happy Monday, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. There are some pretty significant developments happening in Bitcoin, so I figured we would get on and start talking about it all. Well, first of all, when we had this kind of bullish engulfing candle right here, this established point number 3 on our ascending channel here. So we have a sweet channel, and channels are really helpful because it gives you parameters. It helps you really see how our momentum is going, and it tells you right away if there's a problem. And guess what? Right now we are on a train track to a problem. There are a couple of good things. I mean, we did find support off of the 20, but we already did that back here. So we really didn't need to do it again. We came back, we pulled back, found it as support, bullish engulfing. The next move should have been to hit the top of our channel. The fact that we didn't means that there is a little bit of weakness happening. And yes, this is a bullish candle, but we're clearly on the outside of our channel. This still has to close in 3 hours, but we're definitely losing the upward momentum. And to lose that much momentum when we haven't even had a real significant answer to this move is not super great. So we will see where this ends up, but this is certainly a less positive than we were expecting. And what were we expecting? Let's take a look at the weekly chart. So on the weekly, I'm just gonna remove everything just so we can see everything all clear. Weekly, we've been doing moves down, slight move up, down, up, got a little jog in here. This was our big FTX crash, and now we're trying to kind of pick up the pieces and find out what we're going to do. A lot of times, if you can get a couple of weeks of sideways and then start in on a green candle, there's a chance that you keep that momentum moving up. You can kind of see it here. This is definitely a move to the upside. Here's something that kind of fell apart, and then we were down for quite a few weeks. Go back in further history. We have a couple of sideways, and now we're on our way. But yeah, we're trying to build momentum. If we go back to the very, very bottom, once we finally had a couple of sideways and we got a decent green candle in, we were just marching our way out. So anyway, I would have expected to move a little bit higher. So the debate is this a reversal candle? And are we reversing this move up? Or is it just simply an indecision candle? We're just resting and there's more on the way. It feels a little bit lackluster, let's just say. What we were expecting, so this is the weekly, my weekly pattern finder. I'm not going to call it an AI anymore since it's not technically an AI. It's just looking for historical patterns. And we matched this pattern the closest. And the next move after would have been a move pretty strong to the upside, which is what we were expecting. So best case scenario in the top 10 history, the best one being a 16% move to the upside. The worst case was a 6% to the downside. So these are the top two, and they were also the most widely varied. So our median was flat, and we pretty much hit our median. So I'm just going to hit update on this, and we'll just see what happened. So this is our most recently closed candle, pretty flat. If we look, so our variance has dropped a ton. Before, our best variance was 17%. So according to this, it appears that we have seen a pattern similar to this in the past, and it looks like this. It was October of 2019, and after, yeah. So this scenario where we're popping up is the next most likely. The reason the candles don't line up perfectly is because I'm looking at the prior candle, the prior 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm skipping a candle and going to the number 5. So technically it's seeing this and not this candle here, so it's not lining it up perfectly. But if you take these 3 closes, skip a line and go to this close, we're going 1, 2, 3 and seeing this close here, and it's pulling enough data to find this match, and it's fairly close. So this is the best match. This is another match. So neither of these is long-term spectacular, but short-term it actually looks pretty decent. Our median is now increased. So according to this, we could see some more upside, but it's hard to read, because if I'm reading this from just a pure TA standpoint, we've had a move to the upside and a full doji at the top. That's usually not great. So we have a probably higher than 50% chance that we have a red week this week, but you never know. Bitcoin can have a mind of its own. But that is exactly the way I'm reading the weekly chart. Let's take a look at Ethereum and see how the weekly chart closed. So we're not really in a bad spot on Ethereum. We are moving up and there is momentum. This is our brand new one, so we're just ignoring this. If we were able to move up, I mean, we're kind of cautiously approaching the bottoms of these candles here. So there is reason to think that where this used to be support, it is now definitely resistance. So I don't know if that will turn us around and push us to the downside. But we're a little bit far away from our tops. So I think we just might need a little bit more time. So between those, things are, I guess I'm not feeling super strong about Bitcoin and Ethereum this upcoming week. We're definitely testing the 20, and so far in our brand new day, we're lifting off a little bit. But we're, I mean, there's no breakouts here. There is the chance for one. I mean, we definitely have a line. Oh, I've hidden everything. This line right here is kind of our resistance, and this is our sort of cup and handle formation. As long as we don't get a lower low than this, it's still building momentum up to this line. And if we get up there, we really could break out. So on Ethereum, things could be stronger. But yeah, they both haven't done a lot of strength coming off of this. And so if we kind of go back to Bitcoin again and look on the daily, there are a couple of other scenarios that we're matching again most closely. And that is these. Our September of 2015 scenario is now back in play. So where we had a pretty significant downturn, and then we kind of popped up, popped down for support, and then slowly climbed. Like, that scenario is looking much more likely now that we've sort of popped up, but we've shown weakness. We haven't fully moved. This bullish engulfing really changed the tenor. Like, we really could have moved pretty hard from there, but since we didn't, now we're rematching this again. So we'll see. There's a lot of this popping up, and then our variance kind of fell apart. So this is our most like event. We'll kind of see where things turn out, but according to this, we would have expected today to be a little bit more green, and right now we're struggling. We are. Let me just pull over here. I mean, we're barely green. It's very, very, very close. We will see if we actually do. But yeah, if we pull back into our range, like suddenly everything's back on the table. But it's just really critical that where we have such a well-defined channel, we want to stay in it. And we should have hit the top of this. So there are some things that are questionable, and tomorrow we'll look and see how we actually turned out. The couple of pretty awesome things that are still going on is that our 200-day is just absolutely dropping. We're slowly moving down. We're now replacing these candles with our most recent ones. So I'm betting our 200 is going to start leveling off pretty significantly in about 2 weeks. Once we hit 2 weeks, we'll be floating pretty flat where we lie. And I'm betting that number is going to be just below 20,000, probably 19,600. So having our 200 week below 20 or 200 day below 20 would be pretty monumental. But that also shows you that our consolidation is absolutely in place. So it won't take much strength if all of our averages can kind of consolidate down in here. It'll make a golden cross really, really powerful, and it'll also make it'll get us above our averages quite easily. So I'm not sad about this sideways consolidation. I'd like to stay in this channel a little bit further to kind of, I'd love to get up a little bit higher, at least up to the 50. I was hoping to reject off of the 50, and that number is 17,900. So I was hoping we'd get at least up to that before we showed some sort of weakness, because it's okay to show weakness. You just want to show that the bulls gave it an effort. If we don't even make any effort at all, and we kind of roll over, the downside's starting to look really, really possible. So anyway, that's kind of the way I'm reading the charts for today. The rest of the market was very, very red. Very unusual to see Bitcoin just showing a tiny bit of weakness this morning, and everything else was like 6 and 7% down. It was really odd. Things are kind of popping up for the rest of the day now, but you can tell that there's got to be some big players that are really moving throughout the market. It almost makes me wonder if like Alameda or somebody with a ton of altcoin exposure is just like, finding ways to exit or whatever they're doing. Because when the whole market moves the same direction and it's not in line with Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's unusual. So you're like, something else is going on in the background here. So anyway, but yeah, whatever. It looks like we've got 3 hours to go, and somehow we're pulling off a green candle. We just might get back up in our range, and we may look bullish again. Who knows? But yeah, most of the day, the majority of this candle was definitely below. So I guess we'll check in tomorrow and see how things actually played out. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.